Welcome to the video, guys. Good morning. Another beautiful day begins here in Tbilisi. It's the third day of the camp, and since it began, we had the tradition of doing daily warm-ups on the roof of the villa. Funnily enough, nobody turned up today, so I just went through the whole thing on my own, and it honestly felt pretty good. Like, it felt peaceful, quiet, and I think I got that initial energy kick to help me start the day. Today we had our breakfast on the rooftop of the villa. That was very lovely. And then we headed to the climbing gym, where I got to try this thing for the first time in my life. I did the beginner route first, and that was surprisingly easy. But the second one was quite a bit of a challenge already. I wasn't as confident on the way up. You see here I'm grabbing wrong holds and losing momentum a few times. That one was definitely most stressful. I have to recover, take a break. Anyway, I managed to make it to the top, and that was a lot of fun, so I'd love to come back around sometime. The second highlight of the day was a hike that began near Vake Park. We got on a cable car, very vintage, super cool, and the experience is one of a kind for sure. It's interesting how there's no seats and everybody has to stand all the way up. Anyway, the car took us to the Turtle Lake viewpoint, and from there we walked for like an hour and a half. Was absolutely worth it. Look at these beautiful views. The panorama of Tbilisi, and the weather made it even better. You know, as much as I enjoy hanging out with my campmates, I still feel like I need some space for myself sometimes. Because, you know, since the camp began, I didn't really get the chance to reflect deeply on how I find myself inside this new environment, how I feel being in a new place like this. So I decided to take a little walk on my own and hopefully explore some new city neighborhoods as well. On our first camp weekend, we took a day trip to Kakheti region, which is in western Georgia. The weather was far from perfect, but it definitely added to the atmosphere as we wandered around, abandoned fortresses, overviewing these captivating, misty fields, visiting some monasteries as well. And we also stopped at small local shops a few times to get some Georgian sweets and even tried ourselves in baking the traditional shoti bread. The final stop of the trip was Signachi, a small town with a strong Toscana vibe, something like that. That's where the sky started to clear up, and just before we had to leave, we were rewarded with some crazy views of the clouds slowly coming through us from the valley. Absolutely spectacular. I'm so impressed. This week was quite intense. I did a lot of walking, exploring, and I did a lot of talking with my campmates and myself. And I was just thinking how I'm going to end today's video. And honestly, I ended up with none. I just don't have any message that I can compile out of everything that's going on in my head right now. But anyway, I'd like to share this one thing with you. And it has to do with a conversation that I had with a friend of mine yesterday. We were talking about my experience here in Tbilisi so far. And I said that I feel somewhat close to getting overwhelmed with everything that's happening. Going through all these experiences and partaking in these events, I feel like they're coming faster than I'm able to process them and reflect on how they affect me as a person and how they change me. It's like there's so much new information that I consume every day that the brain simply doesn't have the resource to process it and come up with conclusions. Yeah, this whole trip feels strange so far because it's like I've been dragged out of my ordinary life and put into a new world that operates differently, and works by its own laws. And yet there's still the same me that tries to navigate the environment that is so unknown yet so interesting. And what my friend said to me, she said that maybe that's okay to not reflect on these new experiences too much. Maybe that's fine not to reflect at all. Maybe you should just try to live whatever's coming at you. You know, maybe you should just try to let yourself go through it. Just go with the flow and leave out all the rational processes that you might have the urge to start in your brain. I found that thought quite relieving. That might be a good idea to just let things happen and just trust the circumstances. If there's something that I have to learn from that trip, if there's something that I have to discover and understand, this will come no matter what, even if I won't be looking for it intentionally. And that's a powerful thought that really helped me relax and start enjoying my journey a bit more, instead of worrying too much and hoping to see some immediate effects from the experiences that I go through while I'm still here in this new setting. So yeah, I think I'll just take it easier from now on. And if there's something that pops up in my head afterwards, then I'll let it in. And of course, I'll share it with you guys. I'll end the video here. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. I'll be sticking to 2 videos per week. And if you find these videos interesting or useful or just comforting, I'm very happy, and stay tuned for the new ones. I'll see you guys later.